welcome to today's show, Information Matters with AI, and I'm Jacqueline Stockwell. I'm back in the studio with Sharon and Gemma, and we're going to be talking more and more around the topics of everybody wants AI, but nobody wants records management. So last week we talked about the records management, information governance, and now we're going to hit straight into the AI topic that everybody wants to talk about, right? So AI is everywhere right now. We're talking about it. We're apologizing because we're bringing AI up into conversations when actually we should be embracing it a bit more. But it comes with its challenges within our sector, doesn't it? So what conversations are you hearing most often about AI?
I've heard people say that I'm going to be out of a job with AI coming along, or AI is going to overrule human intervention, which I know is not true. It won't, but people have that concern.
Yeah. And to add to that, I hear a lot, well, I just want it. It's going to make my job easier. And why is IG a blocker to this? I hear that a lot. Or data protection is a blocker when they're not. They're both enablers. We know that. And also, from what I've been reading and hearing on other platforms with peers in the field, there seems to be a shift now from LLMs. Everyone wanted an LLM. Now they want AI agents so they can carry out tasks for them. I've seen that shift now where everyone's talking about AI agents now. The large language models.
Gemma, I think you've got a great point there, because that is a huge discussion around whether AI is going to take my job. In the last podcast, we actually talked about the people element of artificial intelligence, because when you're asking your AI agent or you're asking, I've actually named Copilot Vincent as my executive assistant now, because he's so good. I don't think Copilot's the right name for him. I need to, fundamentally make him a person because he's helping my life so much. Also, the fear that they're going to take my job. Well, actually, it increases productivity. But when I'm consuming something from AI, I need to fact check it. I need to think, well, actually, is that factual? Is that correct? Is that right? And that's the human element of it. Last session, we talked about the big data. Factually, if you're going to say, I'm going to destroy this amount of pieces of information, you need to fact check that that's actually correct before you press the button, don't you? So there's always that shift. AI in other industries has replaced, Vincent might have replaced an executive assistant for me, but certainly within our industry, information management, privacy, I do not think it will replace us. It will help us be more productive. It will help us find things quicker. And it is actually, the search on Vincent, Copilot, is like on steroids, isn't it? And Sharon, I think you've got a great point around agents. There's lots of discussions about agents. And I think everybody is trying to use AI to their own advantage. And it's our job to make sure that it's compliant. So why do you believe that information governance is becoming critical to AI success?
For me, it's because information governance, because it's that underpinning background work that I was talking about, underpins the quality, the security and the compliance that you can't have without implementing your information governance framework. If you follow that within your use of AI, that you're pretty much going to be all right. Just because it's information governance that ensures the quality of the data and it supports the security and compliance to all the relevant legislation and regulations, whereas AI doesn't.
It does have its own regulations though, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And do you think it's good enough for its usage?
Yes, it might be today, it might not be tomorrow, but also I was going to say that the jury's still out on that. For me, where we work at the minute, it's fairly new. I'm totally and utterly not against it. We were testing something the other week and I said to my boss, because I'm always like, when AI stuff comes up, I'm like, just because I haven't been consulted when you should be consulted in information governance. And we were testing this thing out the other week, and I said to my boss, strap yourself in, I'm about to say something, I like it. And I did. It was really good. It was really cool. I could see how it would help lots of different people, help with the admin side of their roles, but also anyone with any certain additional needs. It was a really good product to assist them as well in the workplace, so that they were getting the same opportunities that we do, on deadlines to complete work, on the quality. Really, really good in that sense.
Yeah, I think, because all the data that we hold needs to be compliant with AI being deployed, I think it needs that human intervention from those in the profession of information governance. Obviously, we need to consider sensitive data. AI won't necessarily pick up on things like that. So obviously it does need to have us have an involvement with that, and knowing what information we can share with AI in order for it to do its job.
Yeah, brilliant. I know there's so many phrases around garbage in, garbage out, isn't there? And I've got my new one actually is garbage in, gospel out. Have you got your own, or do you think you could explain what you think I mean by garbage in, gospel out?
You have, haven't you, Shar?
Yeah. So I always say it's crap in, crap out. And I literally mean if you feed AI crap, then you'll get crap from it. And by crap, I mean if you've got unmanaged, not necessarily unstructured, but unmanaged information or duplicates, old versions, if you're feeding that into it, that's the outcome that you can expect will be at that quality level. I think when you've got AI that learns as well, if God forbid you're teaching it with this out of date, unmanaged information, so it will be learning from it. And then you're going like further down a rabbit hole that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, I agree. And the way that my brain is processing what you're saying right now is like a kitten with a ball of wool, right? So the wool is like all the big data, and they're just stringing and pulling singular pieces out. Because the phrase garbage in, gospel out, I've put that people-less element on it and that trust of AI, because people are, whatever they are taking out of AI, and you're talking about the training them and teaching them, they're trusting what comes out. So it becomes gospel, or AI told me that this is correct. And then it's learning from the crap, as you say, that comes out, and it's learning again from the crap. So it's crap, actually.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really important that, you get your information management foundation solid first, and then what's taking out of AI is actually, can we say gospel? I talk a lot to information leaders all across the world around AI, where they are implementing, they've paused, they've tried to put it off, and now the organization is just saying go, go, go. But what happens when organizations deploy AI on top of this big data bundle or this really messy wool that the cat's pulling out?
I would say you get a shit show.
More crap.
To deploy AI on top of unmanaged information, you introduce risks. That's what it will do. So there's several risks. So you risk non-compliance, breaches from incorrect or missing classification of the information, poor access control. You might end up oversharing. So people might be able to see information that comes out of this AI that they've never seen before. And the reason for that is because they should never see it. They don't need to, as well as unreliable outputs. You in to get that. So I think it's just crucial that people are really mindful of what information that they expose to AI.
Yeah, following on from that, just like you've been saying about garbage in, gospel out, obviously if the information isn't accurate to start with that's been put in for AI to read, then obviously you're going to get the incorrect information out of it. The results won't be accurate. Obviously that could have a huge impact on the business and a devastating harm to reputation, which obviously won't be good.
Lots of organizations are having mini pilots when they're rolling out Copilot or other particular tools. And I've yet to find an organization that is in a really nice, beautiful information environment that they don't have any of what we're talking about. I've not yet found an organization like that. But I think it's important, if you're piloting something, you can test what we're saying. So garbage in, gospel out, or crap in, crap out, and kind of test those functions. And then there's that conversation around, making the mistakes in that controlled environment, rectifying them, and putting it right. Do you think that AI could actually become the catalyst that information professionals have been waiting for?
I think so. I think hopefully that information professionals will finally be taken seriously and listened to. I'd like to think information professionals will be recognised and the importance of why our roles are needed in organisations. I was probably a bit naive prior to working with Sharon and really getting involved with information management. And I did think it was the responsibility of a certain team in the business where it has been quite a big eye-opener for me personally. So yeah, I'd like to think that we are taken serious and that our jobs are needed.
Yeah, I agree. For us, we're already using it as a selling point for IG and information management, because the reality is that when you talk about information governance, it doesn't promote the excitement in people that the shiny new toy called AI does. It just doesn't. So we're saying that that's great that we need to move with the times. You want AI, and we can help you with that. We're not saying you can't do that because you haven't got this in place. We're saying we can help you do that by putting this in place. And some people are listening. And I think that if you don't involve IG, you don't manage your information, organizations are going to run the risk of either not getting what they want out of the AI, or they could end up with something that is no good. They invest loads of time and effort into it and it's no good, so it's never used again.
I've watched over the last couple of years the trends from GDPR to the implementation of Microsoft and now to AI. And I've seen that us as information managers, we're utilising those trends to get things done in organisations. But the fundamental things are still exactly the same thing. We're still needing to do the same thing. It's just, as you say, the shiny new. And I do like the shiny new. It is shiny new. Having said that, somebody was telling me the other day it's been around for a long, long time. But people have just got onto the productivity bandwagon and the functions and uses of it. But I think it does allow us that opportunity as information leaders, actually, if you want AI to work in its best shiny new section, let's get the fundamentals sorted. So technology is often the easy part. So AI, turning it on, is the easy part. Why is people's change the biggest challenge?
Well, it's human nature, very much so. Some people respond better to change than others. To try and change a culture of hundreds of people, sometimes thousands of people, is always going to be the most complex task that you've got to do. It's always going to be the biggest challenge. Some people have been working the way that they work for such a long time. And again, as we said in the last podcast, that they have the view of, if it's not broke, then why are you trying to fix it? You have to, again, sell them the benefits and bring them along for the ride, explaining to them how you're actually going to make their job easier by that. And at the end of the day, I find it quite hard sometimes, because there are things in our job in information governance where they have to be done, simple as that. But you can't say that to people. We have to sell it to them. We have to persuade them. We have to encourage them. And that's where the challenge comes from. Because if we were to say, well, you've got to do it, the law says you've got to do it. Well, I've never done it before. And then you'll get that rubbing people up the wrong way, if that makes sense. We need to encourage them and bring them along on our journey with us.
Yeah, and I think, like Sharon said, obviously some people have been in their roles for many years, and so people don't like change. Whereas, for instance, new starters might feel quite motivated to go along for the ride and be fully on board. I think when something's coming into play that's not going anywhere, you've just got to embrace it. You might not necessarily agree with the changes, but I think as long as you're listened to with your views and thoughts, but prepared for what's to come, not just drop it on people, sort of prepare them through awareness. In time, they might eventually come on board with it and actually might quite like it and be quite impressed with the changes. So
it's communication
it
as
is.
well, isn't it? Because again, human nature means that people will always react better to something that they've seen coming rather than just dropped on them. So it's important to get that comms out there and start, even if you're drip feeding it for a while, just letting them know that this is what the organisation's thinking about, or this is what we're trialling. We're doing a pilot, and you'll have more news in a couple of months' time, whatever. Just don't suddenly say, we're doing this now, because rarely do people react well to that.
Yeah, and what you're describing is a good leadership and change management. So change management, need a vision, need short-term goals. You need to get everyone excited about things, and you need a plan. And then once you're on the plan, you keep the conversation going, you're learning from mistakes, and then you review outputs. And I think it's fundamental for when you're implementing AI or any new technology into the business to ensure that you get everybody excited about the change that's coming. Because, you know, when I used to work in the NHS 10 years ago, before COVID and everyone was pushed from working from home, we were highly paper-based. So how are you going to take somebody from a paper-based system that might not know Excel or Word or as an end user to, let's push you out for AI, because that comes with its own challenges as well. It comes like, do I trust the technology? Like, this is the way that I've been working. So fundamentally, change management is a really big thing when it comes to artificial intelligence.
Find your carrot, that best suits your audience.
Love that. Love that. So last question from me. How do you make information management relevant to people outside the profession? How do you get them to understand what you do?
I think we've talked about this before, haven't we? Within the role, and it's about making it relatable to them. Again, promote the benefits. What I often do is take people. So if we're attending a team meeting or we're doing a workshop, I will compare it to home, so people's personal life, and the whole workshop can be centered around you as a person, you as an individual. So it's the same with data protection. I would say, you know, the council have taken too much council tax off you, or you've had a letter you shouldn't have, or your neighbour has, so they've breached your data. What would you expect them to do? And the whole workshop is focused on what you, Jackie, would do. And then you can flip it at the end. With records management and in information governance, I would ask, so I'm going to ask you, where do you keep your tea towels?
I keep it on a peg.
The one you're using.
On the workbench.
The clean ones that you're not using yet.
Oh, they're folded up in the kitchen drawer, the third kitchen drawer down the bottom.
Drawer, yeah. But they're in the kitchen because that's where their function is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I've done. We've just done a newsletter, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've done imagine your day. So imagine you're getting up, you go into the bathroom to brush your teeth, and your toothbrush is there. Amazing. You go down into the kitchen and you go in the kitchen cupboard for your cereal, your coffee. You know where your keys are in the hallway on the console table. And then we've said, you know, let's look at this again. There's a reason why that's like it. There's a reason that your toothpaste isn't in the kitchen drawer with the knives and forks. And basically, we've even put in there, it wouldn't work if your pants were in the kitchen drawer with your tea towels, because that's not their function. And that's how we tend to get people, because when you make it more personal, something clicks and they're like, and then they just get it.
Yeah, me personally, being quite new into the profession, I've learned quite well through Sharon with simplifying it and making it relatable to certain examples. And that's how I process it and retain it. So I think the same applies to professionals outside of the organisation. I think it's a way of doing it by, making it relatable.
You didn't realise you were so organised at home, did you?
I didn't know.
I think that's amazing. So what you're describing is the storytelling, the importance of storytelling, and that emotional connection that you're building with the people that you're asking where their tea towels are at home. I think that's a sensational story. I have a neurodivergent brain, and if I don't have things in the right place, like I'm always losing my keys and my phone. Although I have a set place for it, I'll just wander around and put it down somewhere. But its function is its function for my phone. Back to you, Sharon. Is the function of my phone, should that be in my hand or around my neck because I constantly keep losing it, or is it the function come in from the front door, put the keys in the box, handbag hanging up, so you know exactly where it is at the right time? And I feel happier because I know where it is. But it's those, like phone, where's the phone's function? Phone's function's on my ear, or is it, scrolling, or is it in a lanyard around my neck, which is most of the time where it is.
For you, I would say round your neck then, if that works.
Yeah, love it.
Most people, it doesn't leave their hand. It's an extension of the limb. But we can, I've gone as far into these conversations with people to say, so you keep your towels, your bath towels, they're in the kitchen drawer with the tea towels. Well, no, that's it. But they both dry things. They're both to dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but one's to dry stuff you eat off and one's to dry me. Oh, okay. So again, but you've separated that function out, and that's why they're upstairs. But yeah, I like doing it that way, and I like seeing the penny drop, if that makes sense.
It's
in people's faces.
It's so much easier, and there's even like training that you can get your phone out, get everyone to check all the apps, information sharing. What are you sharing? Are you sharing the microphone? Are you sharing location with certain apps that people just download and never read the T's and C's? So I think there's some amazing, really creative ways that you can represent the fundamentals of information management. Closing us out today, if you could give one piece of advice to listeners, what would it be?
One piece,
I'd say if you're struggling or you feel a bit lost with the task that people in this field have got ahead, genuinely, I would say get in touch with the lovely ladies from Leadership Through Data.
Absolutely. I agree with that one. That's a good one. I think, reach out to people in the profession, join podcasts, newsletters, and ways that you can sort of network with others.
Conferences.
We attended the IRMS conference in May. It was the first time we've both been. Obviously, me being new, it was quite overwhelming, but actually it was nice to hear other people's stories. That's how obviously we met you, Jackie, at the store. But you could share, you felt heard, you felt listened to there, and we've come back with contacts that we've stayed in touch with.
Amazing. Thank you. Get your foundations right. If you don't know what you're looking for, there's a really good international best-selling book written by me that can give you some really good foundations. It's been so good to have you guys on the show today. If you've enjoyed today's session, please connect with me on LinkedIn. If our podcast has got you thinking about what kind of leader you want to be, if you need to get your artificial intelligence sorted, please get in contact with Leadership Through Data, who they can help. Remember, until next time, be bold, be brave, and be beautiful.